I'm back, and I'm glad you're back as well. And for those of you who are new to my channel, this is Skelly by Nature. I am Skelly, and here we talk about many things of nature. And today I'm super excited, really. Again, I was just out with the dogs, going for a walk in the woods. Typical walk, wasn't looking for anything. And sure enough, look what I come across. I go walking by, and this is shining in my face. See that? Isn't that beautiful? Now, whether you're new or old to foraging for mushrooms or anything, you pretty much know what this is. This is chicken of the woods. Now, if you're a beginner, this is probably one of the best mushrooms to start with. One, you can't miss it. It's one mushroom that even if you're not looking, they just stick out like a sore thumb. The colors, as you can see, are just beautiful. There's really not many lookalikes. You're not going to screw it up. There's really not a whole lot to know as far as identifying this. And hi, we got a Hades. It's baby Hades. Huh, babe? Not for you. Not for you. And so, like I was saying, there's not a whole lot you need to know to be able to identify this plant, this mushroom. It's so simple. It really is. And we got a Mookie. As always, a Mookie. And you want to say hi, Mook? Say hi, Mookie. Such the happy dog. So like I said, there's really not a whole lot of screwing this one up. It is what it is. They a lot of times you'll find them growing on a tree. They're usually somewhere, 3, 4 feet, 5 feet up in the air. And as you can see, it has, like I said, a beautiful color. Usually they're pinkish or red or got a little bit of yellow and orange to them. It depends. And you'll see right there how that's where I cut it off of from the tree. Like I said, they usually are on a tree, and the bottom, as you can see, is a very very white, creamy white. And so that's pretty much all you really need to know to be able to identify these. They're very simple. So I was excited to see these. Now, the one thing that's about, or why they're called chicken of the woods, is because this mushroom tastes a lot like chicken. We're going to treat this like chicken. When we cook this up, I'm going to treat it just like it was chicken. So when you get one of these or find one of these, the first thing I'm going to tell you is try not to cut this too tight to the tree. This one here, I cut away from the tree. And the reason is because if you can leave a little bit off, then, hopefully you can find some more in the future. And second of all, that base part really isn't the edible part. Well, it is edible, but it's not the part we're looking for. So when you get home, obviously the first step we want to do is clean it. So how do you clean chicken of the woods? For me, I don't care to wash mushrooms. Obviously, we know mushrooms contain a lot of water. They soak in water, they release water. So I try to not wash them. And especially mushrooms like this that come off of a tree. This one hasn't been touched. You can see how clean that bottom is. The top's got a little bit of dirt on it, not a whole lot. So what I like to do is I have my trusty little mushroom brush, and all I'm really going to do is just go through, and I'm going to brush off what I can. If you have to, you can take a paper towel, a little bowl of water, and you can clean it that way as well. So I'm just going to brush this off best I can. Like I said, they really don't get too dirty because they are in a tree. So always inspect it too, see if there's any, if you see any holes or bugs. So now I have this pretty well cleaned. Now it's real simple. I mean, like I said, there's really not a whole lot. Okay, so now to prep these, you can do these all types of ways. And so when it comes to cutting these, like I said, you can see right here, that's where it came off the tree. I call that the stump end. And then I have what we call I call them fingers. They kind of look like little fingers here. And so I think the best way to do it is actually to flip it over. And so this part will be a little tough. Now you still can eat it. It's still edible. This is the more tender side right here. So what I like to do is I'm just going to cut right around that little base piece. And that's going to be what we're going to use. So then I'm going to take the scrap piece and I'm going to put it off to the side. Now that's something I'm going to throw towards one of the trees a little later. So my next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into different pieces. Now again, you can do this whatever way you want. I like my pieces somewhat big, so I'm going to do some nice big pieces like that. This is okay to me. Okay, so there we go. See how I have just some nice strips cut? This is the way I like to do it. Again, do it whatever way you want. You want them bigger pieces. Again, treat this like chicken. So I'm going to get this put in my bowl, and I'm going to go inside, and I'll see you at the kitchen for the next step. Okay, so I'm back here in the kitchen, and I'm going to get ready to get this prepped and ready to go. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is I have 2 tablespoons of butter in my dish. I'm going to take and throw that in the microwave and melt it down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so as you can see, I have my butter melted down. And while I let that cool a little bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a freezer bag. And I've got my strips of chicken of the woods. And I'm just going to throw those all right in. Okay, so the butter's cooled down a little bit. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up a marinade. And so like I said, I'm using butter. But the second thing I'm going to go ahead and use is, if you're a person who shops at Trader Joe's, you might find this. It's called soyaki. If you don't shop at Trader Joe's, this is an easy thing to make in general. So basically all this is soy sauce, teriyaki sauce, garlic, some sesame seed, and I think that's basically, and a little ginger. So that's basically what's in this. So if you want to make your own mixture, that's what you can do, or you can do what I'm doing and just go to Trader Joe's and buy this. So you got to give it a good shake and shake it up, baby. So now I'm just going to give this a good stir, mix this in right in with the butter, get that mixed in nice. Now don't be afraid to pour a little more than you may need for the marinade, because I mean anything extra is just going to go into the pan later. What we're going to do is we're going to throw this right in and cook it right on the stove top. So we're going to throw it in a pan. So So now we're just going to take our bag, pour it all over the chicken or of the woods. Flip it around a bunch of times, give it a good coating. There we have our nice marinade. So I'm going to let that sit for 15 minutes or so. Let that juice just kind of suck into the mushroom. And then I'm going to flip it over for another 15 minutes. And then I'm going to be back to show you what I'm going to do to cook it up. Okay, so I'm back and I'm ready to do up this chicken of the woods. And so my first step is going to melt this butter. I have about 2 tablespoons of butter in there. What we're going to do is we're going to get this melted and get the butter heated up a little bit. So some of the things that I have ready to add when I put this in is I still have a little mixture of my soyaki. I also have a little bit of salt. I get some more garlic. I'm a very garlicky person. I love garlic, especially in the summertime. If you don't know, if you eat garlic, it actually helps keep the bugs off of you because of the smell that you release. They don't like it if they go and if they go to bite into you, they actually taste the garlic in your skin. So if you didn't know that, that's a little trick, and it's another reason why I love my garlic. But I also just love garlic. So you put your garlic, whatever amount of garlic you like in there. The other thing I have is I have a little paprika and I've got some pepper. And those are going to be the things that we're going to be adding to this. And like I said, again, you can treat this like chicken. I'm going to just be cooking this chicken of the woods. And when it's done, I'm actually going to be adding it to a salad. I've got a bunch of greens that need to be cut in my greenhouse. So I'm going to make up a salad with some nice peppers and stuff like that, and just add the chicken of the woods to the salad. So I didn't mention this earlier, but I like to use a big pan when I'm doing this, and the reason is when I put the chicken of the woods in, I like to keep them flat and try to keep them all touching the pan. I don't like them on top of each other. So that's just something for you. So now that our oil is heated up, I'm going to throw some more garlic in there. For me, I can never have enough garlic. And we're going to let that garlic sit a little bit and release some of that flavor. Okay, so my garlic is I can actually start to smell my garlic, which is telling me it's starting to release. So now this is when I'm going to go in, and this is when I'm going to throw the chicken of the woods in the pan. Now, like I said, I try to make it so that I can keep these flat. So now I'm going to go toss in a little bit of salt. Now, if you're a person who suffers from inflammation or anything like that, like I do, I'm one that anytime I make chicken, I always use paprika. I love paprika. 2, it's great for your inflammation. So I'm just going to go sprinkle in a little paprika. And finally, just a little shakes of pepper. And I'm going to let that sit for about 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes now, and I'm just going to go through, and you're going to feel that they're starting to soften up. I'm just going to go right through and flip everything over. So look at that beautiful color going right there. So now that I've got it all flipped over, I'm going to let this again sit for another 5 minutes or so. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. Now, as you can see, we get some nice coloration going on. Yeah. Now I'm a person, like I said before in my other videos, I like a little char to my garlic. Gives it a little bitterness. So there we go. There's our chicken of the woods. And like I said, I'm going to be putting together a salad. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And voila, there we go. A nice beautiful salad. Some chicken of the woods. Doesn't get much better than that. That's free food right there for me. Most of that greens grown in the garden. Tomatoes. I get some sweet peppers in there. Little mini tomatoes. Some onions, which is the only thing that was bought at the store. And that's going to be beautiful. I'm going to enjoy that. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe to my channel. Share this with anyone else you think would be interested. And until the next video, be beautiful. Be awesome.